to discuss my family life. It's really been bothering me lately. I just feel overwhelmed.
When you say overwhelmed, what does that look like?
Very chaotic, very confused, a whole bunch of people coming at you a whole bunch of different ways. Can't answer everybody, can't help everybody, just, I'm just overwhelmed.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel stressed out,
Okay.
a lot, tired,
Right.
just exhausted.
Right. Can you tell me about a time or explain a time that you really felt extremely overwhelmed with your family's issues coming to you about?
Yeah, this happened recently. I felt overwhelmed as far as when my mother and my brother, they just had a big falling out. He's 21. He just turned 21. And he just really been disrespectful, saying hateful and nasty things, being explosive, far as like punching a hole in the wall, punching a hole in the door. I really, like, scary to be around.
Right. So kind of, to me it sounds like he's very defiant and oppositional and maybe, tell me if I'm wrong or not, very against authority.
Yes,
Kind of thing.
he don't like authority. He's a really emotional person, and he expresses his emotions not like in the best way. So he gets upset if he don't like what you're saying and you feel like you're attacking him. So he'll get mean and hateful, or, you know, like, not for us hitting you, but hitting things around you,
Okay.
around us. So
Okay.
it's really scary,
Right.
but it's just like, it's just too much at this point.
Right. Have you seen him explode recently?
No, I wasn't there when this incident happened
Okay.
between him and my mom. I was
Okay.
at work,
Okay.
and he at that point was living with her,
Right.
and she had called me and told me what he had done. And every time she calls me in reference to him, I know he done something bad.
Right.
It's just never nothing good.
Right.
And this behavior has been going on for a while now, like a long time, years.
So you've been hearing about your brother doing X, Y, and Z to mom for a very long time.
Right. And at this point, I'm over it. I'm over. I don't want to hear no more about it. I don't want to hear no more about him, what he done. I just don't.
So to me, it sounds like you're pretty much fed up with this whole situation.
Yes, I'm fed up with the situation. I'm fed up with his behavior and how he treats our mother. And therefore, if he wants to act like that, I don't feel like I need to associate myself with him.
Right. You said that you don't associate yourself, so I'm guessing you guys are not on speaking terms right now.
No, right now we're not speaking.
How long has it been since you've talked to your brother?
It's been a couple months. Like, it's been a couple months. I'll say like 6 months
Since you had a real conversation?
since we had a real conversation.
What was the last conversation you two had?
He was moving in with some roommates, some friends of his, and I just was giving him advice for as moving in with people who you really don't know
Right.
and how rent and stuff work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, he will attach to strangers and people he just met and be so nice and kind to them, but then he turns around and treats his family like that. So
Right. So that has to be extremely frustrating to you, to have your brother be so nice to these people that have no idea who he is, but yet treat your mom the way that he does, and then have her call you all upset, angry.
yes, it's something I just don't understand,
Right.
because we love him, and for him to be so trusting to people he don't know is just mind-blowing.
Did you ever ask him why
No.
he acts that way?
I asked him, yeah, I have asked him why he acts this way, but what he does is he blames it on our father being dead.
Okay.
Yeah, our father had died when I was 3 and he was 1. So he just feels like his life would have been different if our dad was here. Even though our mother took very good care of us, we
Right.
always had, we never went without. So I don't know if that's what causes him to act out. I don't know if
Right.
if that's the reason for him being the way he is.
Did you guys ever have like a father figure growing up?
Yeah. When I was about 7, that was the first time I seen my mother in a relationship since my dad died.
Right.
And they started dating, and after a while, he moved in, like years he had moved in, and he was our stepfather.
Okay.
And they're still together to this day. And from them being together, we got 2 younger siblings. And I think when he sees that picture
Right.
of them 4, it makes him, like, he envies that, or he wish he had that, even though our stepdad treated us like we were his own. Like,
Right. Which was, I mean, it's really great to know that your stepfather did treat you like he was your dad. You know?
yeah, I always
boy.
felt like I could go to him, ask him for things, get advice, but for some reason my brother didn't latch,
Right.
like he didn't attach to him like that.
Right. So we're talking a lot about your brother. Let's bring this back to you. And you're saying that everyone is still coming back, latching on to you. Who do you go to?
When I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, I normally go to my best friend. I confide in her and tell her all my problems.
Right.
Cause she's not, it's like, she knows my family, but she's not associated like I am to them.
Right.
So, yeah.
I get it. I have a friend like that too. So it's always nice to have that shoulder to cry on.
Right, I feel like she's an outsider
Right.
for what's going on.
But
right,
knows everything.
right,
So
right.
it's not like you're talking to a stranger.
Right, or talking to another family member who
Right.
will go tell the other family member.
And if that happens, that has to be a little frustrating too.
Yeah, that's always trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
So, has your mom talked to your brother recently?
No, she's just really upset about the whole situation. It just took a lot out of her. That was just like, for her, it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
She's just done.
You're talking about one specific incident.
For the incident
Right.
with my brother, yeah, so she
Right.
hasn't talked to him.
How severe was this incident?
It was severe. Just said he was saying really hateful things, really hurtful things to her, and he was explosive. He punched the wooden door to his bedroom and like sliced the door, like a hole in there.
Okay.
Then he went in his room and punched holes in the walls. So yeah,
So we got physically aggressive, pretty much, is what you're saying.
yeah, like he didn't hit her, but he was hitting
Right. Which he
things
could
in the
have
house. Right.
if the situation got worse. So let me see, I'm trying to get the picture now. So your mom calls you about all this stuff, about your brother who you haven't talked to in 6 months, correct?
Correct.
Okay, about all your brother's baggage that he puts onto your mom.
Correct.
How's your mom's interaction with your brother?
From what I've seen, she's always loving, she's caring. Just that every time he screws up, she's there
Right.
to pick him up and say, come on. Oftentimes I never understood why she just won't let him be, but, I'm not a mother, so, that,
Right,
I
until
just,
that time
yeah,
comes.
yeah.
Right. So you were talking about other family issues as well. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, and then far from my mom and my brother falling out, and she's calling me about that, her and my grandma falls out,
No.
and they both are calling me, and it's a lot,
Right.
because I love them all, and it's just a lot.
So you're literally being pulled apart, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Have you ever told them to just stop telling you stuff?
Yeah, I have. I told my mom on numerous occasions, please do not call me and tell me what my brother has done. I do not want to hear that. It ruins my day
Right.
because it makes me upset to know that he's hurting you.
Right.
I told my mom and my grandma, you guys need to figure this out. This is petty. Like, there's no need for you guys not to be talking.
But they're still not talking.
No. No, they're not talking.
And it has to be extremely frustrating for that to happen.
It's frustrating because I want a normal family, like I see on TV. And it's just so dysfunctional.
Let me tell you a secret. All families are dysfunctional. Personally, I don't think that any family is cut and dry, you know. So, in society, TV has portrayed families to be this happy-go-lucky, White House, picket fence, happy, lovey-dovey, and really it's not reality. So
Right, and when I see that
that's
on
what you
TV, I want that, but that's
Right.
just not my reality. That's just
Right.
not how my family is.
So what do you think you can do to adapt yourself to be okay with how your family is?
What I'll have to do is understand that their problems are not my problems. Even though we're related and I love them and I want to help them, I just can't take on other people's problems. It's just because I now know it's just too much for me.
Right.
It's just too much for me.
Right. Do you have other stressors in your life that are making your family issues like harder to deal with?
Yeah, recently I just started a new job.
Okay.
So I'm a new person there,
Right.
and so I'm trying to learn everything and know everybody, meet everybody, and, you know, just find my place as far as in the company.
Okay.
So that's definitely stressful. Since I'm, like, I feel like the outcast.
Right.
Yeah, like how my brother feels, but
Right.
yeah, I feel like I'm the outcast.
Would you, going back to your brother, that just brought up a really good point. Do you think you will ever be able to have a conversation with your brother?
Yeah. This is how I feel. I can't do him right now.
Okay.
Not right now. It's just too much right
Okay.
now. I just need him to work on him,
Okay.
and when he gets to that point, I will come around and I will have a serious conversation with him.
What, in your ideal world, what would your relationship with your brother look like?
To me, we would be hanging out. I'd be over my apartment, I'm over his apartment, me and his girlfriends, or we just hang out. I help him find his apartment, I help him set it up.
Right.
Like, doing stuff brothers and sisters do.
Right.
Like,
Being that big sister.
yeah, right.
More than, well, this is how rent goes.
Right.
Instead of,
Right. I feel like I don't want to not talk to my brother,
okay.
but his behavior and the way he acts, I just can't deal with that. So therefore, my result is not talking to him.
Okay. So you kind of isolate yourself from the situation and then try to change it.
Yes, I do. I do that a lot. I'll just separate myself before I just indulge in it.
Right.
I just rather just leave that person alone or leave the situation alone.
And how does that make you feel when you have to isolate yourself?
It hurts. It feels lonely.
Okay.
But I tell myself I'm doing it for the right reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what if you would be the first? Do you ever initiate things after you isolate yourself, or do you wait until they come back? About isolation, and you isolating yourself and shutting down pretty much. When that happens, if the individual, let's say your brother, for example, do you think that you would have to want to contact him first to regain that relationship, or are you going to sit back and wait to see how things go?
I'm more of a sit back and wait person, especially if I feel like the individual was wrong, they hurted me, they betrayed my trust. No, I will not make the first move to resolve it. I feel like they need to think about what they did to me.
Okay. So, even though it's your brother, your little brother, the one that you have pretty much, you're okay with him not being in your life?
I wouldn't say I'm not okay, like I'm okay with him not being in my life. I just feel like I have to teach him a lesson. I feel like he has to be accountable for his actions and his behavior.
Right.
And I feel like associating myself with, I don't associate with myself with those type of people outside of my family, so why will I accept it because it's my brother? Why is it acceptable?
Right. How does that make you feel though? Let's just say, I'm sure you have friends or something who have brothers and sisters and they talk to you about them, you know, and how their relationships are probably more positive than negative. How would that make you feel not knowing anything about your brother anymore?
I'm okay with that right now because every time I bring him up, I'm not saying nothing positive about him. It's always like, let me tell you what he did now. Let me tell you what he did to my mom. It's just a redundant type of thing.
Right. And it's frustrating to you.
Yeah, and I don't like keep talking about him in that type of way to people. Like,
Okay. Right. You just kind of want to isolate yourself from that situation.
right. I feel like if I don't know, then I can say nothing.
Right. So do you think there's ever going to be a time where you and your brother will have a good relationship?
I do. I just feel like that will happen when he grows up, and he changes the way he is towards his behavior and his actions.
And if he doesn't change?
I cannot associate myself with someone like that.
Okay, so you said growing up it was your mom, your brother, and yourself until your mom remarried or whatever.
Correct.
So it was you three. Ideally, it was kind of like a triangle.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was a triangle. We did everything together. I mean, going out, she took us shopping, dinners, Christmases, holidays. It was always the three of us.
And now it's just a line between you and your mom.
Yeah, it's just a line between me and her, and he's
And kind of like a dotted line between your mom and your brother.
Correct. It's just like he's over there and we're over here.
Okay. So how does that make you feel, seeing the past and now seeing the present of how it is?
It makes me wonder what changed. How did we get to this point?
Right.
What happened for him to be this way now?
Have you ever talked to him